Look at that stupid girl. Huh. This looks funny. Hi again, and welcome back to me playing records and you watching me play my records. I recently moved into a new house by myself and a cat. His name's Kennedy. My stuff isn't completely sorted yet, but the priority that I did get settled down are my records. And I don't have a fancy record player as of now, like I did in the last video, because that was my uncle's setup. But I do just have my Sachimi Motorino MK3 with some tape. I don't think I'm supposed to do any of that. But today I'm going to be listening to the records that I had shipped to my mom's house, but never had the chance to visit her in the past years, so I didn't get to open those records until now, because I'm closer to her now and I got my stuff from her back. So some of these records as well are from my travels in 2024, and I'm just playing them now because I haven't had the chance to play them before. I was super busy. Super busy. A lot of these are 60s and 70s and mostly Beatles related, but we'll see. The first one is obviously the Kinks, Mr. Pleasant, and on the back, Autumn Almanac. One of my favorite Kinks songs is Autumn Almanac because it just sounds so, it just sounds so fun. It just sounds so fun, and I love listening to it, and it really lifts my mood. Mr. Pleasant's okay too, but Autumn Almanac is where it's at. La 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 la. Oh, my poor romantic back. Yes, it's my autumn almanac. That was good. I really like a lot of the Kinks music, but it's unfortunate that I don't have a full album from them yet. They're kind of hard to find in the Philippines in their original pressings, as I like to call them. And secondly, I also just listen to them not on a per album basis, but on randomly on Spotify or on YouTube. So a lot of the music that I like are not found predominantly in one album. So, but if I had to choose, I really do like these albums though. And if anybody knows where I can buy any of these in their original pressings, please let me know. I'll be so happy to find them. Anyway, the next records I want to show you are the ones that I had ordered on the internet and shipped to my mom's house. The reason for that is because sometimes in these shopping apps in my country, you can order them and then pay for them when they get delivered. And sometimes I just let my mom pay for my shit because it's easier. The other one is Blonde on Blonde by Bob Dylan. It's such a classic album, and I believe I must have been 13 when I discovered Bob Dylan on the internet, and I was very obsessed with the Beatles and wanted to expand that. And I discovered this album because it was highly recommended by everyone on the internet. And then I listened to it, and the first song was Rainy Day Women, and all he talks about was getting stoned. And me being 13 and not knowing anything about drugs, I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we all do get stoned, whatever that means. So. It's so dumb. That's not right. That's not. With your mercury mouth. What is that?
a missionary at times, and your prayers like rhymes. Now
that's so unfortunate. So I just looked it up a little bit, and it turns out this isn't from the 80s. This is straight up from the 60s. But it's one of those that, I don't know how to describe it, but it's stereo, right? But like, I don't know what's wrong with it, why it sounds like that. Anyway, so that is Blonde on Blonde. Now the last album that I had shipped to my mom's house so she could pay for it instead of me is Daydream by the Lovin Spoonful. I love the Lovin Spoonful so much. This is, I don't know too many of their albums, but I do like this one. I like a lot from this album. And this is a remaster. It says it's available on compact disc and cassette. So, and it says here in the 90s, so probably in the 90s. I am a big fan of whatever the fuck John Sebastian is. Save me, a lanky white man with glasses playing an unpopular instrument. Save me, please save me. So track number 2 is Didn't Want to Have to Do It. And it's a really, really sad song that I really, really like because it's someone who wants to break up with their partner but didn't want to break up with their partner but knows that they would inevitably break up anyway. Something like that. I'm mentioning this because I made a cover of it one time in 2022 when I was in law school, and I posted it on SoundCloud. And when I check back every now and then, people have listened to it like a fucking 800 times already? Like, I don't...
Didn't want to have to do it. Didn't want to have to break your heart. Was the time that I thought the love could fly and never, never fall, never fall, never, never fall, never, never fall. Oh no, not the end.
Yeah. I also really like this next one too. Be so nice, not anyway, once or twice. Speaking of covers, I also made a cover of a Lovin Spoonful song. Not that song, because that song is too complicated instrumentally for me. But it's the sadder one. It's called Younger Generation. So if you're interested in listening to that, that is also in my Spotify, in my SoundCloud. That was great. I love the Lovin Spoonful. It's just good vibes. Just good vibes. And then sometimes sad vibes. And then both, when they do both, they do it so well. So I still have 3 more that I bought for my travels elsewhere that I'm just gonna play to test them out here. So last year, I went to Sydney for a few days. Shout out to Red Eye Records in York Street, I think, because they have an excellent collection of 60s music. Oh my God, everyone is in there. Everyone that I know is in there. And I'm so sad that I didn't even buy as many albums as I could have. I wish I did, but I guess I was tight for budget at the time. In my last visit, which was sometime in July 2024, I only got 1 album. And it's obviously this 2015 remaster of Imagine by John Lennon. Oh my goodness! I've got a poster! Oh, this is lovely. At the time I went to Sydney last year, I was going through it, trademark. One of the things that made me feel better or got me through that sad time in my life was to listen to John Lennon's music. And I've always regarded John Lennon as this master at conveying his deep and dark feelings into music and letting the listener understand it almost completely. Maybe that's just my perspective, but one of my favorite songs by him is, and I'll listen to it in a bit, is Nobody Loves You When You're Down and Out. In the lyrics, what he's talking about is how he's struggling with fame and how nobody really knows you when you're famous. And, you know, he's talking about something that is so foreign to me, but somehow when you listen to that song and when you really are engrossed by the music and the words and the melody, it's like you almost understand what he's talking about. I mean, you don't understand what he went through, but you understand how he felt. Sorry about that. I went into a whole fucking thesis about it. I listened to a lot of John Lennon during that sad time in my life last year. And so when I went to Sydney and I actually saw one of his solo albums in person, I was like, I have to buy this. I also listened to this album specifically when I was studying for the bar exam. So, just fun facts. I listen to How because I resonate with the lyrics, with whatever the fuck I'm going through with my life right now.
How can I give love when I don't know what it is I'm giving? How can I give love when I just don't know how to give? How can I give love when love is something I ain't never had? Oh no.
Bro, that was so fucking sad. I'm sad now. So thanks, John Lennon. There's a discussion that must be had about separating the art from the artist, because obviously John Lennon has done some very problematic shit in his life. So many. You're one of those people that want to enjoy art without having to support someone who seems like a bad person. This is an important discussion to have, but right now I don't really know if I've made up my mind or anything. Right now, I don't think you should separate the art from the artist, but I think you can also acknowledge that bad people can make good art. That's where I'm at right now, but I will be discussing more about it. Last category for today is I went to Bangkok with the law firm that I used to work in. And I went to a record store in Fortune Town, which was amazing. I always say that that record store has a good selection, but this one in Fortune Town had an amazing selection of different kinds of music. And this one is John Lennon again. This is Walls and Bridges. This is the album that I talked about like a few minutes ago that has my favorite John Lennon song in it. And I think I did buy this just for the one John Lennon song that I really like, because I'm not really familiar with all the other songs in here. I know a few, but not as much as I know Imagine. It's not as much as I jam to Imagine. Fine, okay. I'll listen to the sad John Lennon song that I really like, but I won't react. It'll be the first time for me to hear this very emotional song for me on vinyl. So I think if I cry, let's just ignore that.
Nobody loves you when you're down and out. Everybody's hustling for a buck and a dream. I'll scratch your back, knife mine.
some artwork of his face in a drawing he probably made. If you didn't catch it yet, the album cover is actually based on his drawings when he was a kid. And it's in flaps. So it says here John Lennon, 1952, age 11. It's quite creative, actually. So this is the soccer painting that he made, quite famous amongst his Beatle fans. Then his face, then him. Quite funny. Then more paintings. There's several other paintings. And then this ad, I guess. It's the best thing about buying secondhand records that were released at the original time, because there's just like bits and pieces of history along with it, and it's like, wow, it makes me happy to momentarily, experience it for myself. It's just something fun. And now finally, the last album that I want to share with you today. One of my favorite albums ever, although to say favorite would be over understatement because I use that word a lot. So I usually don't go for brand new. I usually like to buy secondhand. But when I saw this, I instantly was like, let me buy it no matter what the price is and no matter its condition. Let me just buy it. So this is Living in the Material World by George Harrison. This is actually not from the 70s. This is a remaster in 2017, I think. And it was made in Germany, and it's a 180 gram heavyweight vinyl. The album replicates design and construction of the original release. I'm good with that. George Harrison is my favorite Beatle. He's also my favorite post-Beatle solo artist. I already have the 50th anniversary of All Things Must Pass, one of the greatest albums of all time, and everyone in 1970 agreed with me. I got the 50th anniversary release of it because I could not find anything all the way from 1970. I think people who had them didn't want to sell them because it was a magnificent piece of history that they didn't want to let go, which I completely understand. So I settled for the 50th anniversary anyway, and that's not bad. This is Kennedy, by the way. He's a Persian. Not that it matters. You can go and play downstairs now.
John and Paul, they're in the material world. Starting out quite poor. We got Richie on the tour. Got caught up here in the material.
My favorite part. This is my favorite part. That's it. That's it. I love the instruments. That's my last album for today. But I guess it would be really fitting if I played one last song, and one that has an immense amount of meaning to me. It's a very touching song, and one I listened to a lot when I was studying for the bar exam and nursing a broken heart at the same time. I really thought that I was gonna fucking die because of how sad I was and how I had very little to look forward to and how the future was so shapeless to me at the time. That was in 2023. Yeah. At the time, in 2023, studying for the bar exam, nursing a broken heart, not knowing where I was going to go in life or if I was going to be anywhere other than that, I just remembered listening to this song and thinking, I am going to find myself again. And when I listen to this song, I will be reminded of this moment, and I will know to myself that I got over that. And I did. I really did. That's one thing to celebrate. The circumstances are a little bit different now. Me from the past was right. I did manage to get over it. And that's quite funny, isn't it? Anyway, so those were my albums for today. I got a little... We started off with High Energy, and then in the middle we started listening to some John Lennon and got sad a little bit. Went High Energy again, and then sad, reflective, pensive energy. Which honestly is just a summary of how my life is normally. So, welcome to that. Anyway, I had a nice time. Please let me know if you enjoy this so that I can do more of it, and also let me know if you didn't enjoy this so that I can stop and shut the fuck up. But I'll think about it first. Anyway, goodbye.